Alright, so this is my first video of a video series called Aesthetics and Powerlifting, or Aesthetics and Strength Training, however you want to call it. It was just video idea was inspired by an interview with Omar and Jonnie Candito, and I thought it was pretty cool. They were talking about like concrete numbers and powerlifting and how bodybuilding is a little bit subjective. And that's what this video was inspired by. So I'm going to talk about something. This is pretty cool. I like this idea, and I'll leave a link of the video that I watched of Omar and Jonnie Candito in the description. So you want to check that out. So aesthetics and powerlifting, what is the deal? What's the difference, and kind of how can you make your body look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jay Cutler? How do you become and look like these champions? The one thing I was mentioned in the interview, which was pretty cool, something I very much agree with, and that I'm starting to really understand, is that a lot of what bodybuilding is and how aesthetics is really genetic based. How you look. Like, it's almost like trying to change your face. You really can't change your face, unfortunately, if that's something you're trying to change, without plastic surgery or something like that. And the idea is that you can't control where your muscle inserts, and you can't control how your muscles attach and how thick your muscle bellies are. And I mean, you can always improve on all this stuff, but the way it is not going to change a whole lot other than what you do to work on it. It's not going to change dramatically. A good example with Juggernaut Fitness TV with Jason Blaha, you look at his physique. He recently kind of showed off kind of where he is. An amazing athlete who has amazing numbers but doesn't look like anything like a Jay Cutler or a Ronnie Coleman, or even any elite athlete for that matter in bodybuilding, you know, but he has a great total. He's very strong. And a lot of things that I've kind of come across and beginning to understand as I watch videos and as I kind of develop more and grow and get older and kind of understand things about myself and people, is that our perceptions are very much skewed in kind of what is strong and what people look like. Because you think someone is ripped and jacked, that doesn't necessarily mean they're super strong and athletic. But don't get me wrong, there's a good chance that they are, though, you know, because genes are a big factor in how you're gonna look and how you respond to food in the environment. Some people are just going to be naturally faster. Some people are going to be naturally stronger. Some people are going to have certain things about them that make them gifted, and that could be looks, having a six-pack, having abs. And some of us chasing that elusive dream of six-pack abs is almost kind of a big shitty one, because dieting fucking sucks and having to cut down, while some people can just stay ripped all year long and not nearly try as hard as you, and you get basically about 1/20th of the result. My point about making this video and just talking about this is that you have to develop the strongest version of you. Elliot Hulse. This is Elliot Hulse saying. He's popularized, or where I got it from. And you need to focus on yourself. Focus on what you can do for you, making yourself look better, making yourself stronger, making yourself fitter. Don't worry about anybody else. You know, unless you are like a high level, you know, professional athlete breaking world records like a Rich Froning, a Dan Green. Mr. Olympia currently is Phil Heath, current Mr. Olympia, right? I mean, how do you do that? How do you get to that point? I mean, you just can't. You can only really compare yourself to other people, really. You only have a real legitimate reason to compare yourself to other people if it's going to push you, it's going to give you positive results in what you do in your actions as far as behaviors in the gym and behaviors in your nutrition. But if you look at other people that are significantly further than you, it doesn't even have to be someone famous. It could be someone you know. And you use that information to make you think, oh man, they're so far off, I'm never going to get there. I mean, that's just a useless thing, you know. That's aesthetics, powerlifting, strength. You know, I can tell you right now, I'm not by any means a gifted athlete, but I've worked real hard to get myself to a very strong version of me as far as in the weight room. And much of my aesthetics that I've learned to look better and leaner and have more muscles and look better comes from building strength. If I had just focused on just improving my strength and improving my body from the very beginning, I would probably look a lot better now than before, simply because I was focused on something else other than just trying to change my body. You know, I would do an hour of cardio every day for a week, and then I'd weigh myself on the scale, I'd check my diet, and I would just look at all these little facets of how I look in the mirror, and they're just all short-term changes. This is kind of a like low-level bodybuilding, if you want to call it, or physique type competitor. And even though I'm not competing, I'm trying to make myself look better, but those type of changes change so slowly. And same thing for strength. They change fairly slowly, but not as slow as your actual physical change. So you want to use the idea of powerlifting, not necessarily that you're going to do a 1 repetition max, but that you are stronger. Like you can do 5 reps with 185 pounds on the bench, and then maybe 2 or 3 weeks later you can do 6 or 7 reps. That's kind of what you want to focus on. You want to focus on getting better on those specific things. You want to get better and be stronger. And you're going to only do that if you focus on your performance. If you focus on how you look all the time, it's going to be very short-lived, because a lot of the time those changes are slow and it doesn't give you any definitive numbers. This is what Omar was talking about, which is a really great thing. And this is kind of what when I heard him say that, he said, you know, like, bodybuilding is very subjective, like what muscles you need to improve, what areas of your physique you need to change or cut or whatever, versus powerlifting where you're just focused on improving a number. And that's not to say that bodybuilding is a bad thing or that's wrong. It's just that there are different things to focus on. So when you focus on bodybuilding, it's a lot harder for a lot of people, not everybody, or at least for me. Let me speak for myself. It's harder for me to focus on just bodybuilding, and it's much more easier to focus on strength. I know I'm stronger. You know, I know I'm better, and that's kind of what you want to focus on as well. Are you better? Are you stronger? Are you in better shape? That should be one of your main focuses of trying to make yourself look better. Being able to have better cardio. It should be something you should be able to be focused on. Don't get too caught up in necessarily trying to change your body and get ripped, because all you're going to be doing is getting shredded and ripped for nothing, you know, for short-term gains, for short-term results, like looking better for summer. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, but you want something that's going to be sustainable. You're going to diet real hard until summer, then eat like shit forever. I mean, that makes no sense. Or you're going to unless you're training for like a bodybuilding show or some sort of physique competition, bodybuilding, bikini, figure competition where you're actually required to look a certain way, or maybe you're doing a photo shoot, then that's a little different. But outside of those things, it's really just for yourself. So, and let those results come slow. You know, a lot of people don't have hours and hours of time to dedicate to preparing food and working on the gym. But we do have a few minutes here and there to make better decisions. Spend a few minutes planning our meals, cooking a meal, prepping our foods, making better choices when we go out to eat, spending 30 minutes to go for a walk or a jog or a run or a bike ride, or spend some time on the treadmill. Maybe have 15 minutes to do some burpees and push-ups and pull-ups, stuff like that. We all have time for that, and it's a matter of you kind of having that idea of that, you know what, strength, aesthetics, powerlifting, bodybuilding, you know, strength and powerlifting, think of as your performance, and you think aesthetics and bodybuilding as how you look. Although there's a lot of overlap between the two, focus on how well you're doing, and you're going to get the results of aesthetics versus just focusing on aesthetics and bodybuilding alone. Because what will end up happening is that those results come so slow that you're going to end up losing motivation. So don't allow the slowness of what aesthetics, how long aesthetics take for what powerlifting and strength training do to you to make you stronger, have stronger bones, to have a better body, and eventually look better. So make that your focus, and that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching.